다를 수도 있지만
미국 캘리포니아주 동부, 이곳에 있는 엘러미다 섬. 우리는 해외 취업 이화인 특집 그 첫 번째 주인공을 만나러 간다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. So part of my job is to ensure that all the proposals and contracts that go out to the customers meet our Wind River business needs, meaning like legal is the intellectual property ownership, are they clearly defined, or are we making enough money, profit margins, or does the customer have enough credit to pay us, etc. And of course there's deliverables that need to be delivered to the customer. So I'm like the middle person who ensures that our business needs are met in all of the contracts that we are sending out to the customers, and make sure we enter a contract that makes sense to both parties.
2008년 7월 정현선 씨가 윈드리버에서 3개월지 계약 협상가로 근무할 때 회사는 한국의 한 소프트웨어 회사를 인수 중이었다. 그 계기로 2008년부터 현재까지 윈드리버의 고위계약 협상가로서 꾸준히 활동하고 있는 그녀에게 그때의 인수 프로젝트는 잊을 수 없는 경험이다.
Acquiring a business is just like buying a house. You are buying not only the good stuff, but all the bad things that come with it. So in order to acquire a company, you need to do a whole lot of research, a lot of translation involved because all of the business are done in Korean. So I was basically in charge of translating every single contract that they've ever made in the past 10 years. So that, and then the whole business culture, how do they communicate? So it was very like intercultural communication plus due diligence work.
정현선 씨는 한국 직장 생활을 하던 중 호주에서 홍보학을 전공했다. 이후 한국에서 다시 금융업에 종사했지만 3년 후 다시 미국에서 버클리 연수 프로그램에 참여했다. 우리는 그녀가 직장을 나와 다시 교육의 길에 들어선 이유가 궁금했다.
Once you get your foot in the real business world, then you realize what your weaknesses are, your shortcomings are, what you need to improve on. And for me, it was corporate finance, accounting, economics, and just that fundamental business knowledge. When you're in school, you don't really know. You're just dying to get out of school and get a job, right? A good job. But then you're competing with all these professionals, and then you realize, I need to improve on. Well, I worked for a finance company in Korea, corporate finance and credit and all that, and I really did not have a good knowledge in it. I was not up to par with other people, and then that lack of confidence kind of does that to you too. And so I told myself, okay, I have to have this. 다 똑같은 그런 사무실이에요. 그러니까 다 그게 방 하나씩 다 있고 여기는 큐비클이 없고 다 사무실이에요.
그것도 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 한국 회사에.
네. 아니 근데 여기도 흔하지 않아요. 우리 회사만 그렇고 나머지는 다 큐비클이고 요즘엔 다 오픈 스페이스로 간다고 그러는데.
그럼 일을 하시면서도 되게 그냥 하루 종일 좀 프라이빗하게 계시겠네요.
네. 그러니까 사람하고 말하는 그런 게 사실 적어요. 뭐 평소에도 미팅 아니면은 별로 그렇게 사람하고 교류가 없죠. 그러니까 커뮤니케이션이 중요한 거예요.
네.
얼굴로 보면은 뭔가 좀 더 이해가 잘 가고 그런 게 있는데. Communication, everybody can do it. Communicating well, that's a different story. And I have seen so many emails that lacks clarity. They're just full of jargons, or it's not succinct or not courteous. Some people can get very brave behind the keyboards, and they do not think that politeness comes through, but it does. New to English or not, the way of a proper business correspondence is written it has to have all those elements, being courteous. You need to be able to convey what you know to other people. So that kind of verbal, non-verbal communication skills, written, although it may be email.
그럼 뭐 발언권도 그냥 뭐 직급이랑 그냥 별로 크게 상관없어요.
네. 얘기하고 싶은 사람. 미팅에 들어온 사람 인바이트가 됐다는 것 자체는 그 사람의 오피니언이 필요하니까 인바이트를 한 거잖아요.
네.
그러니까 그런 거 다 발언권은 다른 아니죠.
회사에서 모든 직원은 동등한 발언권을 가진다고 말하는 그녀.
저기 다시 들어오는 거.
이곳은 누구에게나 자기 의견을 말하는 것이 당연한 듯하다. 하지만 그녀는 미국 사회가 아시아 여성에게 가진 특정한 고정관념에 대해 언급했다.
Another thing that I realized here in America, there's a stereotype of Asian females. They are known to be meek and they don't voice out their concerns or their ideas. And they're somewhat submissive, which I really do not like to hear. So I think it's important to portray that the assertiveness, just be confident in what you do. And I want that stereotype gone once and for all.
10대 시절부터 해외를 오가며 생활했던 정연선 씨. 서로 다른 문화를 바라보는 그녀의 생각은 어떨까?
No one culture is better than the other. I used to think that way. Oh, in Korea, in my country, we don't do that. And you secretly make that judgment inside. But early on, through living in different places, you just accept the differences. No one is better than the other. Kind of that mentality. So that did help me quite a bit, you know, living in different countries or, you know, building friendship with people from different backgrounds. You know, there's just more than nationality differences these days, right? Having that open-minded does help you quite a bit.
Hello, you guys. 세영아, 엄마 친구들이야. 엄마 친구. Can you come and say hi?
Let's go, come on.
Hi.
Hi.
난 팔미예요.
아, 네. Can you like introduce yourself?
Hi.
Helen's husband?
Hyunsun's husband.
국민학교 1학년하고 쟤는 아직 유아 프리스쿨이라고 그러죠. 그래서 프리스쿨.
So who's the most famous Ewha graduate? She's the most famous?
Good answer. Oftentimes I find myself tipped over to work, but I lost my mom to cancer 10 years ago, and I know how limited your time is with your family, right? So I make a conscious decision to spend time with my family and be present at the moment, not dwell on the past or worry about future, but be physically and emotionally be present for your family, because you don't get that time back. To find that right balance, which is easier said than done, right? And I think this is a struggle most working moms go through, and working dads also. It was called secretarial science back then. The usage of a comma, it spanned 3 different chapters just to learn how to use a comma properly. So we were very well trained, and that actually served as a foundation in my later career, because to this day here in America, native speakers come up to me and ask to proofread their resumes and business letters, all because of the training I got. Very invaluable experience. So thank you, 교수님. I think in whatever field you are in, if you do your best, whether someone's watching you or not, somebody is bound to recognize you, even if it's a non-paid job or a low paid job. Just do the best you can, and that will serve you well down the road.